Welcome to mathematics class again. Right now you will learn changing fractions to decimals. Previously we learned what decimals are, the place values of decimals, and we have also learned how to change decimals to fractions. So right now you'll be learning how to change fractions to decimals. Are you ready? This is the part 1. Now take note of division of numbers by powers of 10. Previously I told you that powers of 10 are numbers like 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, and so on. Now let's divide these numbers by powers of 10. The first one is 6 over 10. So the first thing you need to do is to write the numerator down, okay? Write the numerator down. Then 10 is a power of 10. 10 is 1, okay? It's 10 raised to power 1 because 10 has single 0. So since 10 has single 0, we'll be counting from the decimal point 1 place to the left. Because when dividing by powers of 10, you count from the decimal point 1 place to the left. Now this is 6. It does not have a decimal point. What you need to do is to introduce a decimal point by your right hand side. Then count 1 to the left. 1. The reason we counted 1 was because 10 has only 1 0. So after counting 1, the decimal point has been shifted to this new place. Then to your left you have 0 written down. So the answer is 0.6. The next one is 3 over 10. You do the same thing. Write down the numerator and count from the decimal point 1 place to the left. From the decimal point 1 to the left, you have shifted your decimal point to the next place. Have 0 written down to your left. That's 0.3. The next one is 4 over 100. Now 100 is 10 raised to power 2. So it's a power of 10 because it has 2 zeros. So we will be counting from the decimal point 2 places to the left because 100 has 2 zeros. So have the numerator written down. Introduce a decimal point to your right hand side, then count 1, 2. You have shifted your decimal point to this point. So you have 0 in this empty space, then write 0 to your left hand side. That's equal to 0.04. I hope you got that. Pause the video and write this down. Now the next one is 15 divided by 10. Write down the numerator, which is 15. Divided by 10. 10 has only single 0. So you count from the decimal point 1. The decimal point has been shifted to this new place. So our answer is 1.5. We already have a number to our left, so we don't need to write down 0. So that's 1.5. The next one is 175 divided by 10. When dividing by 10, count from the decimal point to the left. So you write down the numerator, which is 175. It does not have a decimal point. You have 1 on your right hand side. Count 1. 1. That is 17.5. 14 over 100. The same thing. 14. Count from this point 2 digits, 2 places to the left because 100 has 2 zeros. So that will be 1, 2. The point has been shifted to this place. Then there is no digit here. Write 0. That's equal to 0.14. 8 over 100. That will be 8. Count 2 places to the left because we have 2 zeros. 1, 2. Point comes here. Write 0 in this empty space and write 0 to your left, and that's equal to 0.08. The next one is 144 divided by 1000. 1000 has 3 zeros. So write down your numerator, which is 144, and count from the decimal points 3 places to the left because you have 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. So your decimal point has been shifted here, then you have 0 written to your left. That's 0.144. The next one is 16 over 1000. So you have 16 written down. Count from the decimal point 3 places to the left because you have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Point comes here. This empty space, write 0, and to your left, write 0. So that's 0.016. The next one is 7 divided by 1000. So that's 7 written down. Count from the decimal point 3 places to the left. So you have 1, 2, 3. Your decimal point comes here. And for these empty spaces, you write in 0. So you have 0 here, 0 here, then 0 to your left. So the answer is 0.007. So the reason we had to learn dividing by powers of 10 is because we will need this activity when changing our fractions to decimals. Okay? So now let's see. Changing fractions whose denominators are factors of 10, 100, and 1000 to decimals, which means these fractions have their denominators, and those denominators will have to be converted to powers of 10. Now let's look at the first one, which is 1 over 2. The closest power of 10 to 1 over 2 is 10. The closest power of 10 to the denominator is 10. So what will be multiplied by the denominator to give us 10? That is 5. So you multiply 2 by 5 to give us 10. The reason we are changing to powers of 10 is because it will be very easy for us to change it to decimal. So when you're multiplying the denominator by 5, ensure you do the same thing to the numerator. So that will be equal to 1 times 5 is 5 over 2 times 5 is 10. Now let's change it to decimal. Counting from the decimal point, since we are dividing by 10, which is a power of 10, we will be counting from the decimal point to the left. This is 1, 0, you count 1, 1. So you have 0.5, which is our answer. So 1 over 2 converted to decimal is 0.5. The next one is 3 over 2. So we have to multiply the denominator by 5. That's the first thing, because 2 times 5 will give us a power of 10, which is 10. Then do the same thing to the denominator, to the numerator. So 3 times 5 is 15 over 2 times 5 is 10. Okay? So what do we do at this point? We will divide 15 by 10 because 10 is a power of 10. It has 1 0. So let's count from the decimal point to the left, 1. So decimal point has been shifted here. So the answer is 1.5. I hope you got that. You got it. Now, the next one is 1 over 5. What will be multiplied by the denominator to give us a power of 10? That is 2. So you say times 2. Do the same thing to the numerator, times 2. So that will be 2 over 10. Now it will be very easy for us to do this operation. So it has 1 0. Count to the left, 1. So that's equal to 0.2. The next one, you do the same thing, times 2 times 2. That's equal to 4 over 10. Okay? Now, 1 0. You count 1 to the left. 1, that's point. 0.4. 0.4. The next one is 3 over 5. 3 over 5. You multiply the denominator by 2 because it will give us 10. Do the same thing to the numerator. So that will be equal to 6 over 10. And our answer is equal to 0.6. I hope you got that, and I hope you are enjoying the class. Now let's see more examples. 1 over 4. What will be multiplied by the denominator to give us a power of 10? So for 4, you have to multiply 25 because 25 times 4 will give you 100. So that will be times 25. So once you have done that, do the same thing to the numerator, times 25. and that's equal to 1 times 25 is 25, and 4 times 25 is 100. 100 has 2 zeros, we are dividing by 100. So count from the decimal point, 2 places to the left, 1, 2. Your decimal point comes here, then you have 0 written down. The answer is 0.25. The next one, multiply 4 by 25. It will give us 100. Do the same thing to the numerator. Okay, so that will be 75. 3 times 25 is 75. 4 times 25 is 100. And when you count 2 places to the left, because 100 has 2 zeros from the decimal point, 1, 2, you have 0.75 is our answer. Okay, the next one is 1 over 20. What do you multiply by 20 to give us a power of 10? That's 5. So if you're going to multiply the denominator by 5, do the same thing to the numerator. So that will be equal to 5 over 100. So change 5 over 100 to decimal. Write down the numerator. Count from the decimal point 2 places to the left. From here, 1, 2. Point comes here, 0 in the empty space, and 0 to your left. That's 0.05. 0.05. Now we have more example. 3 over 20. What do you multiply by 20 to give us 100? That is 5. Do the same thing to the numerator. So that's equal to 15 over 100. Change it to decimal. 1, 2. 0.15 is our answer. And the next one is 4 over 25. What do you multiply by 25 to give us a power of 10? You multiply 4, because 4 times 25 will give us 100. So that is times 4. Do the same thing to the numerator, times 4. So that will be 16 over 100. And when you count 1, 2.0, so that's equal to 0.16. I hope you got that. Yes. Now the next one is 4 over 50. We are going to change it to decimal. It has a denominator of 50. Now what do you multiply by 50 to give you 100 or any other power of 10? We multiply by 2. So if you're going to multiply 50 by 2, you also do the same thing to the numerator. So that is times 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. 50 times 2 is 100. When dividing by power of 10, count from the decimal point to the left. It has 2 zeros, so 2 places to the left will be 1, 2. So 0 comes in here. Your decimal point is at this point, then 0 to the left. That's equal to 0.08. I hope you're enjoying it now. Now the next one, 3 over 125. Now, for us to be able to do this, we need to change the denominator to a power of 10. And what do we multiply by 125 to give us a power of 10? So that will be 8. When we multiply by 8, it will give us 1000. So if you are multiplying the denominator by 8, do the same thing to the numerator. That's equal to 3 times 8 is 24, and 125 times 8 is 1000. So that's over 1000. So now to convert this to decimal, write down the numerator. 1000 has 3 zeros. So you count from the decimal point 3 places to the left. No decimal point, introduce 1. 1, 2, 3. Your point comes here. This empty space, you have 0 written down, and to your left you have 0 written down. So the answer is equal to 0.024. So 3 over 125 to decimal is equal to 0.024. The next one is 7 over 125. Since this is our denominator, multiply by 8, then multiply by 8. That is equal to 7 times 8 is 56 over 1000. So from the decimal point, 1, 2, 3. So your decimal point comes here. 0 in this empty space, then 0 to the left, then you have equal to 0.056. This topic has been an interesting one, and it is still an interesting one. I hope you enjoyed this class. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.